y'all. This is Market Explainer. We are America's #1 business news podcast. Before we jump into this next one, I would like to tell you guys about Acre Gold. Meet the new store of value. It's same as the original store of value. Timeless, thoughtfully designed. Acre Gold delivers 2.5 gram bars to you after you sign up for their subscription and accumulate enough money to get the 2.5 grams in your account. Now, I'm a huge fan of collecting gold. 2.5 grams is the perfect size for the first time gold buyer, the seasoned collector or investor, however you want to think about it. You can click in the link down in our description to get to Acre Gold, and we got a great deal set up for you over there. This next story is a hoot and a holler. I can't believe it. A few years ago, I remember reading something about Amazon was buying up former Borders books. I think it was Borders had officially gone out of sale. And they were putting bookstores in them. And now, Amazon, I can't even take it, is going to open department stores. I'm sorry. You came in right as, listen, and Sears and JCPenney died because they deserve it. Okay.
Right. Absolutely.
They died because they were already half in the ground when Amazon showed up. But when Amazon showed up, Amazon just took a 9-iron right to their head. All right. They're already in the ground, pal. Take it easy. But they're just like, yeah, you're going to get it. And so I just, okay, there's a cartoon that I watched as a kid called Recess. Okay. You're way too old to have seen it. But Recess, there was this episode where in Recess, this head guy comes in from the Department of Education and says, hey, we're going to get rid of recess in the middle of the school day because we're wasting time. And then he realized that, hey, there's a reason we let young kids go outside and play because they get all their energy out so they can learn better. And then he brings recess back, but he brings it back saying that, we've designed this recreational, educational, blah, blah, blah. He turns it into an acronym. And this is what that feels like to me, right? Where you killed something, but then you brought it back saying, it's not a regular retail store, but it's a retail store, pal.
Well, but it is different. And here's why. Little things matter, right? Sears, all these department stores had a model that they stuck to, and they didn't innovate. Right? They made a lot of money in a very short period of time and thought that was going to last forever. Blockbuster, same thing. Why would we ever change this? Because we're making money hands over fists, right? And they didn't innovate. I think what I was surprised, Amazon already has 611 physical stores in North America. I did not know that. I mean, I knew that they had opened up some small bookstores, right? And I knew they had tried. We all saw the
Does that include Whole Foods? Does that include Whole Foods?
That includes Whole Foods, but Whole Foods is not massive. It's not you know what I mean? But my point though is
we got that store out in Leander that's the I forget what it's called, but it's basically Amazon's grocery store.
Right. Well, and there's exactly. So that's what I'm saying. We all read the articles a couple years ago when they were going to come out with this, small store that you could walk in and buy your lunch and walk out without using your credit card, and it was no checkouts and all that stuff. But to me, that wasn't widely successful. I never read an article after that said, hey, this is so successful, we're going to put them on every corner like Walgreens, right? So to see that they already have 611 stores was insane to me. But I think what they're looking at it for is really, this is just an added benefit of putting a shipping facility everywhere. They can put a small shipping facility everywhere, and now instead of relying on FedEx, UPS, USPS, or whatever, I can ship straight to the store, right? My local Amazon store, and then have drivers, you know what I mean? And if they use the right algorithms, which Amazon does already, because they already have facilities in every major U.S. city. If they use algorithms, they'll know exactly why something's on the shelf. They'll be able to pivot things in and out very easily, very quickly, unlike your Sears and stuff like that buy in these masses, and now you're stuck with shirts that don't sell or pants that don't sell or whatever. Amazon can bring things in and out. They can stuff the store full of their high profit items, their Amazon Basics items, stuff like that are high profit, right? And then use them as shipping hubs,
facilities. Yeah.
And now instead of having these massive Amazon facilities, you can have these small, right, areas.
My dad was notorious, and to this day was notorious for going into JCPenney. He knew exactly when they got to clearance everything out, right? At the end of a season. He was notorious to this day, 10 years after having ever probably walked into a JCPenney, still got new shirts. He's like, I paid $6 for this. Yeah, okay, right? He is why they went out of business, because nothing really is ever on sale at Amazon.
Right.
What they're selling you is convenience, and I pay. I pay for the convenience of having it, right?
Absolutely.
Here's my opinion. This is one of those this is one of those things that a big conglomerate like Amazon does. We're going to expand. We're going to open the retail department store, and it says that it's going to be about 30,000 square feet, in contrast to 100,000 square feet, like more traditional department stores. So they probably are going to lease 60,000 square foot and have, my guess, 30,000 of it is shipping, 30,000 of it's retail space. But this is one of those things that I look at a company doing, and if we all rewind our brains, Sears used to be a catalog.
Right.
Right? Sears was the original Amazon. You could buy a house and a car from Sears catalog back in the day.
Yes,
Big
sir.
Man is old, but he's not even old enough to know that was a thing, right?
No, well, I knew it was a thing, but only because I learned it. I didn't take part in it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. He was just old enough to where cars started with an ignition without the crank in the front. So I'm just saying, I see this and say two things. History repeats itself, right? Because Amazon is just a big internet catalog. That's all it is.
Right.
For everybody who's like, they're going to this and that, they're just a big internet catalog. They're just Sears, okay? This is the thing that ends up killing Amazon, I think.
You think so? I think Amazon's too... Look, every company rises and falls, right? It's crazy to say that Amazon will last forever. However, right. I think Amazon has positioned itself well when it bought Whole Foods. I think this was always in a plan, right? To create these stores and stuff. I think it's been a plan for a long time. I think they're looking at the world that's been in the commercial lease world that is much cheaper now than it was 2 years ago. I think it's a great timing to initiate their plan. And if for some reason over the next year it doesn't go well, they can just give up on it. They've already had the infrastructure. This is what we were just talking about the last story about backing, right? Yeah. The amount of money you have in the bank to suffer through some of those hard times or growing pains and stuff like that, it makes a difference.
So listen, I am just saying that, I'm making a prediction. So we're at the beginning of September 2021. I'm making a prediction that this leads to the eventual downfall of Amazon as we know it. Now, I don't think Amazon Web Services is ever going anywhere because I think that's a growth industry.
Right.
Right? I think Amazon Web Services becomes its own thing sooner than later. I think Andy Jassy, who's currently running Amazon, will spin that off and take that public, is my guess. Because that's the taking public of AWS will lead to huge profits for, Amazon.
If they did that, then I would agree with you because, as we know, and we talked about on the show, AWS is the money generator for Amazon. All of these things that you and I see them doing, right? The shipping in 2 days and 1 day, an hour, and whatever, delivering groceries and everything else, that makes them little bit of money because of all the people that's relied upon in that process, where Amazon Web Services, we know, made up, 75%? I don't remember what the number is or whatever of their income, right?
Yeah.
So if they do split that profit off, all of a sudden your profit as Amazon as we know it becomes thinner.
Littler. But and the reason I think they do it and do it now is because of the hype. I think Amazon is so hype right now that the Amazon alone, the Amazon.com stock, will survive and thrive in this existing environment where they're hyped because if they try to do it later, I don't think they survive, right?
I don't know. I think that's I don't know that there's a lot of depth in this story as far as opinions. I think you and I have said what we can say about this. I think it can work. You think it could be their demise.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. Everything is cyclical.
I don't think it's their demise today or tomorrow or 2 years from now. But I think in 15 years, people are going to be watching Market Explainer, whoever's hosting it then, and they're going to go, can you believe the original hosts of this show predicted that this would happen? And they're going to be doing the long form version of talking about how Amazon shot itself in the foot by opening up department stores. And listen, this is not going to be a JCPenney type retail store. I feel like it's more of a Sears because it's going to have things like batteries and jewelry. It's like two of the categories they're saying are going to be there. And a lot of what's going to be in the store is Amazon Basics, Amazon,
high profit items. That's why yes. I think this could work. I'm interested to see how it looks when they implement it. Right?
Yeah.
Does it look like a Sears or a JCPenney or anything else, right. Or does it look completely different from a standpoint of I'm going to be very intelligent and strategic about what and where and how and that kind of things. And if they do it right, I think this could be a huge money generator for them. The ability, look, we've all done it, right? I can go to, look, if I need a cable for some electronic, look, I would love to go to Amazon and get it tomorrow if I've got that amount of time. But there are times that I've got to get in the truck, drive to a Best Buy, walk in and get a cable. Am I paying 10 times the price for it? Absolutely, right? But I need it today or whatever, right? So right. So there is in certain areas, if you had Amazon on the wall above a store name, that people are going to walk into it. It's because it's Amazon, just like people walk into an Apple store, you know what I mean? Whatever else. And speaking of big, huge things that have Amazon across them, did you see the picture of the new Amazon fulfilling facility in Tijuana, Mexico?
No.
You should look up this picture, and for those of you listening, go look up this picture because it's unreal. It looks like something out of the zombie apocalypse because it's a massive wall surrounding this facility. So you have this facility in the middle, and then this just giant wall around the entire facility, which is not an unknown thing in Mexico. I know several companies that own, factories in Mexico and stuff like that, and they all have walls and stuff like that. But when you see it, it is just it's a disturbing sight because they've just got Amazon painted on this massive concrete wall surrounding this Amazon facility. It's just it's unreal.
Yeah,
it's absolutely unreal. Anyway.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Right. And then it's I'm looking at the picture right now, a more wider pan shot.
Yeah.
It's an Amazon facility, and then there's shacks in front of it. So that's
and that's what I'm saying. It's a little like zombie apocalypse. It's unreal, right? Yeah. You got these shacks outside of this massive concrete wall. Yeah. Inside the wall looks very pretty. Factory in the middle of it, very organized, very,
outside of the wall.
Yeah. Lots of sheet metal is all I'm saying. Lots of sheet metal.
Right.